Alrighty. Hello, Twitch and or YouTube people. Welcome to my stream. This is the spooky Halloween edition. I'm so excited to be streaming on Halloween. This is my favorite holiday. And I'm just real happy to be spending it with all of you instead of my family and loved ones and dear friends in real life. Let's talk code things. My name is Josh. To recap, for anyone who hasn't been here before, hello, welcome. I'm a full-time independent open source maintainer in the TypeScript ecosystem. Means instead of working for one particular company, or in my case, even on one particular project, I work on a bunch of open source stuff that hopefully is useful. The main project I work on is typescript-eslint. The tooling lets you run standard JavaScript tools, such as ESLint and Prettier, on TypeScript code. I also wrote Learning TypeScript books, sometimes contribute to projects in the ecosystem, once in a while TypeScript itself. Just generally putz around on social media. Style shit. Hello, welcome. Darren Baldwin, hey. It's going well. Today, because it's Halloween, I always dress up every single year. I'm dressed up as Bob Ross today. I got this cheapo little, I think it's from Spirit Halloween, little fake signed palette and my paintbrush. So today's stream is going to be a spooky edition. But how are you two doing? How are things? Let me know. I'm so amused by this Halloween shenanigan. I love it. I always post on the social media, Twitter, Mastodon, and Blue Sky. Let me just get those in alphabetical order. Busy is good. Love busy. Although I prefer slightly less than busy. You don't always get what you want. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put the vacation reminder last week. Oh no, I also forgot to get a cup for my water jug. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Mini Scruff, happy Halloween to you as well. Today I have... Startup Life. Today I have a little bit of stuff, so I'm going to get going on it. For starters, I like to, once in a while, publish a blog post on the mismatch between light and dark mode. My eyes. On the Learning TypeScript blog, and it doesn't happen as much as I want, so I wanted to prioritize getting one out this season. My personal goal this year was to try to get a blog post out once every month or so. I got a bunch out in August and September and July for my personal, so that made me happy, but I still like the Learning TypeScript one. So today I'm going to be working on... Tea time! Hello, welcome! I'm working on... Twitch errors in the backend can't pin. On this PR, there we go. Article narrowing function parameters with rests and tuples. So, fun fact, I don't pay for Vercel on the Learning TypeScript site and account. What I do is I fork it to my personal site, and that's what deploys to learningtypescript.com. Ooh, I got a sync fork. So it means that I get it for free because I'm just technically using it on my personal account, which is free on like org accounts, but I don't get PR previews. So no PR preview for you royally collectively. But I'll just go through it today because I've got it up locally. There's VS Code. So pulling things up and zooming in a bit. Let's see here. Closing stuff outside of the screen. Why do I have to use a fork when I'm lead maintainer? LOL. Great question, because if I didn't use a fork, then I'd have to deploy from Learning TypeScript /site, and I would have to pay Vercel money for that. Organization accounts, in order to use their features, you have to pay. Personal accounts are free. So TypeScript-eslint is sponsored. Like, we go through the netlify, or open source gets us for free. I haven't done that for Learning TypeScript. So that's why. I am very cheap. I used to eat a lot of ramen in college. Demian Park Home & Co. Hello, welcome. So get pull. I don't even remember. What is this? Yarn start, I think is what this one uses because it's Docusaurus. I have updates. Good for me. Oh boy. Been a while since this particular computer built this site. Docusaurus v3, by the way, just came out. Very excited about that. Or it's about to come out. I think their RC version... Why can't I type it? RC version something or other just came out. Like RC or beta something. Oh, yeah, beta 0. Yeah. So very excited about that getting stable. We use it in a lot of my projects. Boop. Also, to y'all who got used to me in light mode, sorry, back to dark mode. Okay, let's talk about this. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you don't like the design. I will say, whenever a doc site generator gets popular, its default stock design gets unpopular because too many sites use it. Astro is fantastic. Astro has an equivalent-ish called Starlight, which is really cool looking. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, learningtypescript.com, fun fact, is on Docusaurus. I just customized the heck out of the default theme. One of my old former coworker friends, Jackie Liu, helped with the design, meaning she made the design and then I implemented it poorly. All right, so yeah, this is something that came up on someone else's Twitch stream. I cannot for the life of me find it in my history because I haven't had the time to try. But I've been meaning to reach out to them, letting them know, hey, I saw you were learning TypeScript. This is a thing that came up. Ooh, if we're talking about Docusaurus, do you have any tool for TS docs generation? We're using TypeDoc, but it's kind of awful IMO. Sorry, I don't have anything better. I use TypeDoc in TS API utils /WeDo. There's another maintainer, Rebecca Stevens, who's awesome. That just generates this. And yeah, it's kind of all or nothing, meaning to get a better theme for this project. I don't... Ooh, Rescript. What is Rescript again? Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I'm sure it's a lovely language, but I'll never use it because barrier to entry. I'm just in the JavaScript ecosystem by way of JavaScript and later TypeScript. Like, I'm sure the advantages of Rescript are nice, but like the compat layer, the docs existence, the everything that comes with using TypeScript, too much. I'll just never have time to try Rescript. Sorry. Again, I'm sure it's lovely. Anders Halsberg, the creator of C#, TypeScript, and so on, or co-creator of TypeScript, I forget now, says a really nice quote. Show me a perfect programming language, and I'll show you a language with no users. It's cute. Anyway, let's talk about narrowing function parameters with less than tuples. I'm streaming this, even though I'm not actually coding it right now, as a form of like forcing myself to proofread it. I made it while offline-ish, I think, on an airplane, give or take, maybe. And also see if y'all have any feedback. This is me shamelessly using y'all as free labor, which is funny because I'm an open source maintainer. Okay. TypeScript function overloads can be a handy way to add specific types to the type signature of a function. I don't like this. Let's enable word wrap. Specific to describe different multiple allowed ways. Describe the type of a function that can be called in potentially in multiple different ways. But they don't help much with how the function's internal implementation understands the types of its parameters. Getting parameter types to adhere to a known unit of tuples. Getting parameter types to adhere. This is so nitty gritty. Like, who would read this and go, oh yeah, that's a problem that I've faced and care about. Getting parameter types to adhere to a known union of tuples. For example, if you'd like the second parameter of a function to change based on the type of the first parameter, function overloads can be difficult. Might not be able to get their types right. Generic functions sometimes struggle with that too. A little better. This article will walk through 3 techniques for specifying dependent types for function parameters. That's not quite what I want to say. Function parameters. Describing function a function parameters type that function whose parameter with a parameter whose type, describing a parameter type that changes based on a previous parameter. Uses tuple types in a funky new way, uses array spreads and tuple types in a funky new way, but gets the right types internally. Okay, this article will walk through three techniques for describing a parameter type that changes based on a previous parameter. The first two allow using standard JavaScript syntax, but aren't quite useful for the internal, aren't precise. Using standard JavaScript syntax, but aren't quite precise in describing the internal implementations types inside the function's implementation, inside the function. The third one requires using an array spread and tuple type in a funky new array, using a ... array spread and tuple type in a funky new way that gets the right types internally. Cool. And by the way, I've commented out this truncate thing because in Docusaurus, that's how you indicate that in the articles list, everything underneath it gets truncated. But then there's a bug in the syntax highlighter in VS Code, which is very irksome. Yeah. All right. Cool. And y'all, let me know if that explanation does or doesn't make sense. In my experience, it takes a lot of iteration and tries to get these kind of nitty-gritty explanations working. Really, any code stuff. So let me know. It's not just you. It's everyone. But okay. Parameters, tuples, why? I actually haven't introduced using tuples. Parameter. What? Parameter types. Mismatching. Mismatched parameter types. Variadic. What? Is variadic the right word here? Define variadic. No, that's like a function that can be called with any number of things. Variable number of arguments. Dependent parameter types. What? Suppose you wanted to write a function that takes two parameters where the second parameter's type is different based on the first parameter. In that function, the second parameter's type is different. Function. Suppose you wanted to write a function that takes in two parameters: fruit, either apple or banana, then info. Either apple info and apple info type if fruit is apple, or banana info type if fruit is banana. That function, the second parameter's type is different based on the first parameter. One could say it depends on, whatever. An initial approach might be to declare the function two parameters, fruit and info, as union types. Let me put that here. So what I like to make sure is that whenever I describe something in code, I then show the code as union types. So what I'll do is in short, yes, I'll write the declare function. There we go. So we got like the quick little function there. This would allow calling a function with the right match type, such as apple, and an object matching apple info. But Okay, but that wouldn't prevent calling with mismatch types, such as apple and an object matching banana info. It requires manually as asserting info to the right type, even when fruits type has been narrowed, such as within case apple. By the way, I always forget to mention this enough. If y'all have any questions or things you want to talk about or ask, whether it's what I'm working on or just anything in life or open source or TypeScript, let me know. Also, I'm sweating butts here, so turning on a fan, let me know if that fan noise starts to get bad. The speed button on the fan is broken. So it's medium speed at all times now. Oh, that feels so much better, though. Also, I forgot my mug. I'm going to text my spouse to bring me it. One sec. This is a great opportunity for y'all to let me know anything you want to talk about. Okay. Ooh. Elian, hello, welcome. I'm sorry, I think I missed it. There was an Astro community call I think I saw very recently. Oh my god, I totally forgot to post that I'm doing this. Thanks for the reminder. As someone who uses Go primarily, that type of function barely computes for me as Go and not let that fly in the slightest. Yeah. You can do some wacky stuff in JavaScript. Up the LT article. Work in progress that I'm cleaning up now. It's really not spooky behavior. It's just cool and nifty. Yeah, I remember learning Java in high school and thinking, why would you ever want multiple signatures for a function? Just call the thing the same way. Oh my god, Astro blog. Let's look at this. Congrats. What's new in Astro? Wait. There's no, what the hell, man? There's no Halloween in here? Where is the hell? It's an October 31st article. You didn't Halloween it? Oh, man. I'm sure it's lovely and wonderful. No matter. Ooh, look at that. 95. Congrats. You have like over 150, almost 150 PRs from October. That's awesome. Very cool. I'm bookmarking for later. There is, check the last show. Web monetization docs. Oh, I was talking with someone from this effort, I think. Wait, check the last showcase. Themes? Which one is the spook? That's the Starlight website? I'm sorry, can you link me? Also, yeah, Go, speaking to style shit, the website showcase. What? I'm sorry, I'm not very smart. Or not very, Oh my god, Pumpkin Kuba. Netlify, no, serve it. Oh, I saw this on Twitter. This is so cute. I'm going to make one. An old go-to from high school. Hashtag believe. Love it. Where's the oh my god, what's the quote? This is it, baby. Hold me. I love it. Yeah, Go does a lot of funky things. I actually like a lot of what Go does. I haven't played with it or used it too much, but especially their error handling, we have to be very explicit. Throwing is just a general anti-pattern in a lot of places, so I'm glad that they took a better approach. Thank you. I'm so glad this exists. Makes me very happy. This is it, baby. Hold me. Fun fact: this is it, baby. Hold me is a Halo thing from the end of the first Halo. What the hell is this? Okay, there we go. If you beat it on Legendary, where's the what? Oh, okay. This is it, baby. Hold me. Two of the characters hug, and that's actually on the inside of my wedding ring. All right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Where was I? Oh yeah, this thing. Yeah. Sorry that I didn't build this with Astro. this Learning TypeScript site, but maybe my next book, if one were to ever happen. I have no plans. Yeah, explicit errors. I've started just using them in like my TypeScript types. Like instead of throwing, I'll return a result, which is a union of either success with an error or failure, or sorry, success with the result or failure with an error. Cool stuff. Okay, cool. So I do like to introduce code snippets. This is let's look at how that might behave in a full code snippet. All right. So we have the interface Apple info, interface banana info, but that would allow calling the function with right match types such as Apple and object calling Apple info, but that wouldn't prevent calling with mismatch types such as Apple and object matching banana info. It requires manually as asserting. Okay, so I don't like how I'm describing the problems after and then showing them. So that might look something like this. 2 problems in that code block. What does the 2/ do on TS2/? Very good question. It's a really, really nice plugin for general rendering TypeScript and Markdown or similar called Shiki 2/. There's like this whole line of where that stuff comes from, but basically it goes down to Orthodox, one of the longtime TypeScript community members. He's off doing a really cool thing now. I forget how much I can say about it, but it's really cool. Also, look at this freaking website. This always brings me so much joy. Hi, Orta. Yeah, I used to be on the TypeScript team, did a bunch with their website. Yeah, so it's the tooling that lets you, like, in code snippets, like, have these, like, nice hovers and stuff that, like, show the types. So, here we go. I put 2/ on this one. So, like, you hover over it, hover over info, you can see that it's actually, like, this is rendered as pure CSS HTML, I want to say. I think pure, I don't think there's JavaScript. Yeah, it's cool stuff. So, like, there are plugins for a lot of different tools. The TypeScript Lang website actually uses them. Let's just go to an arbitrary types thing. Here we go. Yeah. So, I use them here. So 2 problems on code block. One, nothing prevents calling, what was it, log fruit with mismatch types, such as Apple and an object matching banana info. You think, Matt, oh yeah, what does total TypeScript? By the way, I've just started recommending total TypeScript, like, in my talks. If you don't like books, do this. Tutorials, React with TypeScript. Does he use that now? Is this open source? What are the articles? There we go. I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, I need a TypeScript playground in order to help. Great article title. Love Matt so much. Yeah, this. Oh, I recognize this. This is Shiki. Yep. Open that to the side. Is there a way to get DevTools to sync with system? Sync theme. System preferred color scheme. There we go. Yep, there it is. Shiki. Boop. Great tool. Awesome. Also, really interesting article, like many of the total TypeScript ones. All right, yeah, so this proof problems are code block. Nothing prevents calling log fruit with mismatch types, such as Apple and object matching banana info. Such as, in the code block, it's actually banana with Apple info. There we go, make it match together. Shiki, I didn't even know there was another thing. Is this like a sequel? Has ESM focus rewrite of Shiki? Oh, fam. Anthony. Oh, he's on vacation? Great. That's so nice. I'm so glad that people are ESMing it. It was a pain in the butt to get it to work. Great, thank you. All right, and then requires manually as asserting info to the right type even when fruit's type has been narrowed, such as within case Apple. I don't like, first of all, these are out of order. I'm gonna, yeah. Who else, honestly? All right, so using function overloads. Attempt 1. One approach for describing a function having multiple ways involved is with function overloads. To recap, to recap, the function loads any number of public facing integers may be declared. Um, TypeScript allows code to place any number of public of call signatures to describe any number of call signatures just before a function's implementation. The function something something something, let's declare function either way, input number, void. Let's say if a string or boop 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 boop. Function either way, input. All right, so in this example, it's that it will then be allowed to I don't want to repeat the word, is then allowed to be called in ways in matching either of those call signatures. For example, this either way can be called either with a number input to return a number, or a string input to return a string. And let me just make sure that this actually compiles and is allowed. So yep. Either way, 1, 2, 3. Then either way, ABC. Rather, it's called 2/Shiki or Shiki 2/ because this little syntax here is called 2/. So we're combining Shiki, the thing that renders the stuff, with 2/, the TypeScript specific / comments. Great. Yay. We don't need that sentence anymore. Describing the log fruit function with overloads might look something like the following code. Would look something. Yes, also the original signature must contain all cases. Indeed. I think I'm gonna gloss over that here because this isn't like the point of the article, like function overloads. It's just a strategy that has issues. Thing like declaring a signature for apple and a signature for banana. And let's bring that up. One cool thing about Shiki 2/ is that if you have TypeScript errors, they can be rendered, and it requires you to explicitly say what the errors are going to be at the top, so you don't accidentally render the wrong ones. Yay. Ooh, and no, that's the problem. The function, before I get into that, I just want to get the wording out the door. The function, this function overloads approach does improve on the first one around union types. Calling it with apple permits passing an object. Passing only permits. Yep, and calling it with banana and apple object is a type error. Good, but progress. But note how the type of info inside the case apple is still apple info or banana info. Explicit as assertion still needed to access fruit specific properties. Okay, what is this? Why is it let's call it this. What? I said the errors. Cheeky TS2 slot. Now what? Okay, no overload matches this call. Is this like a weird Docusaurus state bug? What's happening here? Yarn start. Why is this complaint? Oh my god. This is just a UI bug. I was confused because you see there's like this little UI bug down there. I hate having to file unrelated bugs when I'm doing something. Okay, yeah, no, this is just, look at this area. UI bug. Well, oop, that's recording. Capture a selected portion. Now watch me file a bug. Huh. Issues new, not in my URL bar. Okay, so bug. Shiki. Am I zoomed in? What is this? They like just changed the UI in some of these things on GitHub. Shiki 2/. You're taking notes? I'm glad. To be useful. Also, sorry, I went on a run today and it was cold outside. My throat has never done well with cold, especially when I run, so. Ooh, error displays are visually offset slightly. Let's get this. Where's my PR? Let's see. Notes, don't write bugs. Genius. Genius. All right. Come on, DevTools, do your shit. Okay. All right. Error behind. Yeah. So if I were to just, for the sake of margin left, found a bug. Let's say it's supposed to look like this. Yeah, it looks like the height is correct. Oh, look at that, 16px. Ooh, this is interesting. There are two of these. And, oh, interesting. Right? 16px. Look at this. The error and the error behind are not the same size. So error, like they start off with the same text, but then the text gets different. That's so cool. See, I don't agree with this. Don't write bugs, because if you never had bugs, you never see these cool little symptoms like this. Let's just copy and paste all the styles. See if I can maybe copy and paste none of the styles. What's happening? See if I can get it working. Come on. There we go. Ooh, well, I don't know. Well, anyway, it's supposed to match up. I don't have visual bugs. There should be no text overflow around code snippets or Shiki error annotations. I don't really know what to describe here. I'm probably going to end up fixing this myself if no one else does. So, screenshot of a code block with a Shiki 2/error annotation. The code in the annotation has overflowed past the error area, past its allowed area. Cool. Bug accepting PRs. Love it. Love to see it. Sure, thanks, yeah. This is why visual regression testing is nice and good. I set up Renovate or Dependabot on most or all of my repos, most of them, so that things automatically merge in updates, which is nice. But I have no testing to make sure that no random update of like a Docusaurus or a UI library or whatever doesn't change how things look. So it's entirely possible this was introduced automatically. Found a bug. Yay. But yeah, no, thanks for offering to look at it. Much appreciated. Yay. Oh, shoot. Did I? Okay, I did. I did post. Okay. Okay. Boop. Oh, 117. Another Halo reference. Style shit. It's a very good point. Style. Okay. I don't know. My roomie hasn't seen my message asking for a glass, so. Oh my god, that felt so good. Great. Continuing. Let's refresh, get rid of the shenanigans. All right, but don't have the type info inside case apple is still apple info or banana info. But the type of whatever, you can see this by hovering your mouse cursor, mouse over the info in info as apple info. All right. Just for folks who don't know that you can do that in these code snippets with Shiki 2/. TypeScript isn't able to narrow the type of info, even though the two levels explicitly stated that each fruit string matched up with a specific info interface. With a specific interface. Function implementation, which is what external implementation didn't understand the relationship. Another attempt at type safety for this function might be to turn it generic. The type of info depends on the type of fruit. Therefore, using a type parameter, using a type parameter fruit would allow for narrowing the type of info based on the type of fruit. This implementation gives a friendlier error message. In the case of, I should probably recap. To recap, generic functions. Generic functions are those that allow a type parameter. I'm not going to recap generic functions. It's in my book. It's a common thing. I don't know how to take the space for it. This implementation gives a friendly error message in the case of calling long fruit generic with banana and the wrong shape of info. Okay, so now we have, oh, this one works. Now we have apple info, banana info, curvature, and info for fruit. Actually, I saw something on the Shiki 2/ website that I want to try out. I don't like how all of these code snippets have so much copy pasta. So what if I use this feature of them cut? I think it works. I've never tried it. Here we go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this. So in the cut version of it, ooh, that's not what I was looking for. So in the cut version of it, we just cut out the apple info and banana info. I like that. What? Info for fruits. Maybe I didn't do this before because there's just... Alright, so the first one, we have apple info, banana info. Now we have an extra, so there's overload. Good. And then generics, info for fruits. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna, instead of like making a fancy object for something, but info for fruit or fruit, right, here we go. So we declare this interface, info for fruits, and then, so instead of, so instead of saying why it's better, this implementation declares fruits type parameter that must be either apple or banana. Then requires that info is the corresponding shape under that key. Must be a key, one of the keys of an info for fruits interface, apple or banana. Then declares that info must be the corresponding info for fruits value under that fruits key. There we go. Yay, generics. I have explained generics or functions that are generic so many times in my career. It's like the I don't know, the thing to do for TypeScript explanations. All right. This implementation declares a fruit type parameter that must be one of the keys of an info fruit interface, apple banana, then declares that info must be the corresponding fruit value under that fruit key. Yay. So yeah, this is an interesting thing. I don't know if there's like a TypeScript issue or something. I feel like I tried to look for it and couldn't find it. Yeah, generics and overloads, yeah. Powerful stuff, especially generics, but can be a little bit of a thing. Okay, should error. This generic version gives a friendly error message at the shape of calling and the wrong shape of info. So that's, but TypeScript again. Ooh, yeah. Matt's explanation, you like that a generic type is a type that creates types like a function. Yes, I love it. Matt's explanations are so good. I had the pleasure finally of meeting Matt Pocock in person at Revo.js. He gave a really good talk. I don't think the videos are up yet. Where is Matt's? There it is. Really good talk on this, where he describes that the term generic is really an adjective, not a noun. There's no generics. It's you have a function that has type parameters. And yeah, I really like the way he describes things. You can tell he knows what he's doing and does it a lot. Fun fact, my first conference talk was TSConf in, I want to say, 2019, where I gave a talk on binary arithmetic in the TS type system. And like a big core tenet of that talk was that generics are like functional code, like the type bit flip type t extends 0, 0, 1, or 0 is like a function, and it's really cool because for me to see other people use similar explanations because they're right. I'm sure they came to them independently. That's just like one of the good ways of describing this stuff. Yeah, you can tell he was a teacher. Okay, so we've covered the generic version. Let's talk about REST parameters. The third and final attempt switches to a different syntax for the parameters, a REST and an immediately destructured tuple type. Its parameter... See, this is like a rudimentary, easy to make mistake. Don't add filler in your explanations. Its parameter syntax is a little funky, but it gets the job done. Most of that is filler. What I was trying to convey is, okay, I know the syntax is funky, but I promise it works. We can go through it. It's not what I said. Oh yeah, let's add that cut. A REST fruit info on immediately destructured tuple type. Fruit and info. Value of a tuple type. I don't know that that's a great explanation. Great. Even better than great. Hooray. That's true. A small amount of filler is good. Yeah, +1 to both. By the way, you both are coming up in the same color for your names. I don't know why. So I keep forgetting that you two are different people. Style shit and mini scruff. I don't know how silly I am, but that's quite not smart. Yeah, what percentage is good? I think the more dry the material is a factor, because then you don't want too much filler. It makes it harder to understand. If the material's really hard, you don't want it to be... Anyway, long discussion. I don't feel confident off the top of my head saying anything smart in. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go a little harder. For a third and final attempt, we're going to let's combine two pieces of syntax. REST. And for both of these, I can link to the docs. MDN REST. rest parameters. Oh, I love a funny joke. Let me tell you. Rest parameters using dot 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 to allow any number of parameters. I like this. I like how I'm doing this now much more than how I did it before. So we have rest parameters and then TypeScript. Please have a dedicated page for it. That isn't W3 schools. Also, sorry, my face is like falling apart. That's not what I want. Handbook. I really wish TypeScript had a glossary, you know? Everyday types, tuples. There we go. Kind of a glossary. There they go. What? Tuples. Where is the heading for this? Where did the tuples heading go in mobile? Tuple. There it is. Okay. Seabed, Christy, hello. Welcome. Yes. Oh no, the pin expired. I keep forgetting it's 20 minutes by default. Thank you. Tuple types. Rest parameters as an array. So first we allow a rest parameter here, and yeah, if you want to read the article, let me get that pull request, and I'll pin that actually. And I'm about to push up what I have. Ugh, my nose. So yeah, for the third and final syntax here, we're combining two things. Rest parameters, so we're allowing any number of parameters as an array, and then actually it's three pieces in it. Three pieces. Tuple types, restricting the type of an array to a fixed size with different types at each, with a different type for each element, and with a different type for each element, with an explicit type for each element, and then spread. Array destruct, that's what it is. I'm just trying to explain this line right here. Fruit info is fruit and info. Okay. MDN array destructuring. Okay, so it's technically called array destructuring assignment. Taking the elements in an array and assigning them to local variables. What are we calling this one? This log fruit tuple version uses those three techniques to allow passing in fruit and info parameters adhering to the fruit and info tuple type. Awesome. So the problem with some syntax like what you're seeing here is that if you combine a lot of little pieces of things together, even if the individual things are reasonable and not too much wordage to describe, it can be difficult to combine them all together. Like there's just a lot going on. So anyway, we got that same visual bug we already saw, and I filed the bug for. Yeah. So anyway, function properly now info's type based on fruit and properly flags an incorrect call with banana and an apple shaped object. Hooray! Oh. I had already started. Yeah, I remember now that I was offline on a plane because I was like, to-do, get the links for this thing. What are we even calling it these days? So for do, and since I already have it, a rest parameter collecting any arguments passed to the function into an array. Great. Fruit info, storing them in fruit variables respectively. Fruit info and the types of the parameters to be fruit info, which is the union allowing either of the two tuples. Apple info, banana info. That's exactly what we wanted. I'm going to get rid of that extra sample. I've explained it twice now, so I don't want a third. Okay, Great. And I'm going to cut again. Oh, what's the syntax to cut? There we go. So how it works, that's exactly what we wanted. Check. TypeScript is smart enough that when elements of a tuple are narrowed, other elements of that same type are narrowed too. That's why TypeScript knows that if fruit is an apple inside, what did we call this one, log fruit tuple, then info must be an apple info. It can narrow the type of info to apple info. You can isolate that smartness separately from function parameters. Here, in the following standalone snippet, when the destructured fruit variable is narrowed to apple, info is narrowed to apple info. Awesome. Oh yeah, it's not standalone because it's cutting. Yay! So the same narrowing, so the same tuple types narrowing. Smart. Yay. Okay. If this were a personal blog post of mine, I would put a GIF at the very least here, or GIF at the end of each section. But Learning TypeScript has a little bit more serious, but still friendly of a tone, so I haven't been putting in this particular site. Try to avoid needing this kind of function signature. So it depends. Most of the time, these kinds of complex functions are a sign of overly complicated code. Types that are difficult to represent in the... Yeah, where's the tie? It might be a bow tie, but it's still a tie. Types that are difficult to represent in the type system are generally difficult. No, it's not always. Can be difficult to work with because they can be conceptually complex. Complexity, we don't need to say that redundantly. Vibes. Yeah, I always feel weird putting forward a vibe different from my own personal vibe, you know. Instead of so I never actually say. Okay, I'm actually going to switch because in the section saying which should I use, I should actually start with which you should use. So if you must use one of these techniques, consider which one will cause your project's developers the least pain in the future. Many typing developers prefer to avoid functional overloads because of how wacky they appear at first glance. Generics can be intimidating. Generic functions can also be intimidating to many types of developers, though generally less so in simple cases. In no such thing as simple in that only have one type parameter. Rest tuple parameters are a nifty trick that also run the risk of confusion. And really may be worth that confusion. I'd recommend. My recommendation would be to wait for a time that they are they're very well suited towards try them out once, and see how they feel. You may find that you like them, or you may not. Oh, you commented! Yay! Thanks. I will check it out once I push up what I've gotten so far. Yeah, just be careful actually commenting. I know you, and this is a good thing. I like this. I know you have a habit of like looking at things and reviewing, but I do have a bunch of local changes, so the comments might be out of date. Alternative objects, I'm like almost done too. Instead of wrestling with function parameters with multiple function parameters, consider using a single object to store single object with multiple properties. Doing so will allow using techniques such as the following discriminated unions to represent different allowed shapes. And I'll definitely want the TypeScript docs for TypeScript discriminated union. People ask that question a lot. A new site redirect. Boop, boop, boop. What? The new site doesn't mention discriminated? It's one of the worst words for things, but it's one of the greatest features. Narrowing. There it is, discriminated unions. Discriminated union represent different allowed shapes. Cool. So apple info, apple and info, banana and info. Log fruit tuple, fruit info, apple and info, or banana info. Yeah. So you might not even need. I hate that I always have a. I have a hard time closing things, but download. I have a quote in the book that I think I can close with. Learning TypeScript. I'm doing this off screen because I have I have a download somewhere and I don't want to show any accidental like maybe public link to it. So I'm getting my book here, saving it, and then I'll show it. Learning TypeScript, August 2023. Okay, here we go. There we go. So I downloaded a PDF of my book. I have, fun fact, by the way. Thanks, Chrissy. Not super related to what we're doing now, but who isn't a fan of pizza? I have previously pirated my own book, which I think is funny. Yeah, there's a good quote. There we go. Whichever strategy you choose, remember this quote. Remember this quote from Brian Kerningham. Debugging is twice as hard as writing code in the first place. Therefore, if you write code as clever as possible, you're definitely not smart enough to debug it. This might, I think, come across as a little condescending. Remember, maybe this isn't the right quote here. I don't want to be all, hey, you're stupid, you can't do this. Let's talk Hawaiian pizza, speaking to the chat. Pineapple and pizza is great. It's not for everyone, but people who poo-poo others' joy because they don't like the particular thing, I disagree with that fundamentally. Just because you don't like pineapple and pizza doesn't mean it's not a totally valid way to experience it. Yeah, a lot of people are scared to say they like pineapple on pizza. What a ridiculous thing. Eat what you want, as long as it's yummy. I was about to say, I was trying to think of something stupid to make fun of, but I was like, there's nothing I would. Okay. Pepperoni and pineapple, ham and pineapple. Ooh, interesting. I don't know that I've ever tried that. Both are good. Okay. To keep the code as readable and straightforward to understand as possible. This quote from Brian Kerningham applies to the type system as well as runtime code. There we go. All right. Happy typing. Oh, love a pineapple smoothie. Oh, love a smoothie in general. Cool. So I've been here an hour and just got to the end of this first round. So let me so proofreading. I'm just gonna publish this. I switched my key and then have started putting it off screen to type in so people don't yell at me, rightfully, for security things. I'm probably just gonna publish this now. I normally like to wait overnight, but I've already waited overnight and done a big overhaul. So I'm impatient. I got too much crap on my plate to let this slide. So while this is, I've seen this. Actually, this reminds me why I didn't try to find anyone. I've seen this come up several times, that there are multiple ways to declare function, that there's come up somewhat, not too once in a while, that there are several ways to declare functions that may be called in multiple strategies, multiple different ways, each have drawbacks. This article goes over 3 of the most popular, most reasonable ways: function overloads, generic functions, and rest parameters of a I love this, destructured rest parameters of a tuple type. There we go. Yes, yes I am. Thank you for asking. I also want to see what I'm doing. I will, in other articles, I will hyperlink them, but I might not have the like infrastructure for that. No, I do. There we go. Thank you. Yes, that's right. That's right. I've been wanting to make like more of a hub for these things for a while, but I just haven't had the time. So learning, yep. Just being lazy and typing things out. Boop, boop. Thank you for asking. What is it? Generics, type, modifiers, and objects. Also narrowing in unions and literals. Union literals, yep. Objects, yep. Type modifiers, yep. And generics. Yeah, one of these days I'll add more to the site. Just haven't had the time or need. Oh yeah, Halloween. Love Halloween. Okay. So, adding links. Ooh, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this up now to the PR. Wait, let it wait a little bit. If a GitHub's actions doc says to just copy and paste, don't fall for it. I need more context to agree or disagree with that statement. And at the end of the stream, I'll come back, do one more once over, see if there are any things like more missing links or whatnot, and then I'll publish. Yay. All right, what else did I want to do? Oh yeah, typescript-eslint. I wanted to do more around typescript-eslint. Specifically, we have a bunch of to-dos internally around our eslint rules. Not the ones we write or around the writing of them, but the like eslint config for our own repo. There are quite a few actually that we've been wanting to look at, enable internally. Maybe we'll see. So if we go to typescript-eslint and then issues, I think I filed it. Oh, you know what? I think I sent pull request drafts actually, because I was away. Like a lot of the work I'm doing now is like stuff I started on an airplane. Ooh, I thought I approved this renovate PR. Okay. Confirm squash and merge, whatever. Author Joshua K. Goldberg. Yay. Okay, yeah, chore, fix. So what I started to do is for each of the lint rules that we have as to-dos, who is Vale, Chrissy, if you don't mind linking? Oh, gotcha, funny. So like no unnecessary condition. Some of these took actually a lot of changes, so I split them up. Looks like I've got 2 drafts and 2 open ones. This one, just so the 2 open ones are waiting for review. And then we have 2 drafts. So, oh, this draft is ready for review. Great. And this one's ready for review. I think I was just waiting for bills. Okay, so it was no unnecessary condition. Is that it? Is that the... Surely there's more. I'm trying to figure out what ones I should do next. Yeah, I guess those are the only one. Complaint, violation. Great. So what I'm going to do is try to enable, let's see. Oh boy, this might be a rabbit hole. Let's see if I can get through it in like 20 minutes. I have a meeting at 4 o'clock my time in 24. Yarn build, clear, yarn lint. All right, so let's look at this. Issue. I hate how an issue is plural and then pull singulars. All right. Letting that rest for 20 minutes to go try to make progress on this. Enabling more lint rules internally in TypeScript-eslint. Indeed, always a pleasure, these GitHub actions. TSESlint. Boop. Alrighty. Huh. I expected more complaints. Expected more immediate complaints. Aha. Here we go. Immediately, we use NX, task builder, runner, cacher. So it's parallelized here. Workaround for infinite type recursion. Oh boy, that's fun. Ooh, yeah, +1 to this. I always thought that was cute, that issues and pull requests in some way are like the same thing internally to GitHub. Not in all ways, just in some ways. And one of them, yeah, is that the issues and pull requests have the same counter increment, and they do redirect nicely. That was cute. Okay, wow. So I'm shook. I'm shocked that we don't have more violations for this consistent whatever rule. Oh yeah, I wanted to go over the rule. I'm going to need to get the docs up in the PR for reference. Oh, hang on. Apparently I did this in August. What? 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 I did this in August? Oh, Nevada did it in... what? Enable consistent... What? Oh my god, you know what it was? Emerge conflict. So, there we go. That's what it was. Great. Okay, so if I go to the... I was going to look up the lint rule. Consistent indexed object style. Where is that toggle? All right, so yeah, either use this thing, the object thing, or use the record or interface. Just don't be inconsistent, you know? And okay, we can't enable the rule on this specific object thing because why not? Because then we get a recursive circularly references itself complaints. Love it. But the lint rule is complaining. Let's get that lint rule complaint here. Record is preferred over an index signature. Oh, right, with the link to the docs there. Duh. All right, so this is clearly a bug in the rule that, like, it's telling me to do something. It's even providing a autofixer, quick fix. Fix all fixable. Yeah, it's providing an autofix that breaks code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an existing issue to see if there's fix produces invalid recursive type alias marked as a dupe of fails on circular references. Interesting. Okay. Do not report for circular. Okay, so it looks like we fixed this in 2021 apparently. Ooh, great question. Why using interface fixes the recursion? There is actually a pretty substantial difference internally to the type system how interfaces and types work. Interfaces are like a lazy binding. They're less powerful. Actually, is that the right way to explain that? It's been a while. Interfaces are more static. They exist at a different, like, more friendly to performance optimizations level than types. Types are like super dynamic, and it's been a while since I've had to explain this. I don't remember the words, but basically, interfaces don't require TypeScript's, the type system understanding of it, to keep going down inside. So you can do things like an infinite recursive type with an interface. You can say that, like, schema type for extended is one of three things, where one of those three things is an interface that then refers to schema type extended, which might have an interface which then refers, and so on. Whereas a type alias says, no, do this all immediately. So it's like the difference between a lazy binding and the type system. And yeah, you can. Specific. Yeah, fun fact about how index signatures look totally unrelated. This is allowed because this signature is assignable to that. So yeah, interfaces can refer to themselves. Type wat equals a wat. Whereas types, actually, I think they can now in certain situations. Yeah, that's allowed. But if we extract this out, let's just simplify it a little bit. What? Okay, a record is preferred over an index signature. Let's autofix. Okay, so record, specifically, it's a generic type, or type with type parameters, breaks this. So I'm going to have to, okay, yes. Yeah, it's really interesting and nuanced and annoying that we have to memorize all this stuff. But yeah, I need to see now, like, it's on me as someone who wants to do this contribution. Like, do we have an existing issue for it? So I was previously looking at this rule name in title. Now I'm going to say is open, I think is the query. So I see two active issues. One is some kind of invalid. Yeah, so I think it's a duplicate of this issue. Yeah, so this issue is pretty close to what it's describing, so I'm going to say, yeah. We expected it to be... What's the difference between expected and actual? Oh, so there's no count. So we swallow the... No, this isn't quite the same. And also, use an autofixer if the keyword is string or number or symbol. It is a string. It's not the same thing. All right, and then the forbidden from using the in keyword and index signature if record is preferred. What's the key in? Okay, so that's not the same thing. That's using an in keyword. We don't even need to go into that. That's different from what we're doing here. Actually, wait. Key in string. Oh! That fixes it. That's so weird. So there is a bad autofix here that we should be like either keeping it as an interface or getting closer to the allowed of using key and string in a type. So interesting. One from using the in keyword and index signature if record. I think this is an interesting similar case. Yes, so I'll post here. An interesting subcase of this is that an interface might get auto-fixed to a record in a case where... this is different. This is different. So I'm going to make a new issue for this. As I'm typing it out, I'm like, no, this isn't the same thing. Key string... Yeah, so the way you would define in an interface is similar to how you define in a type, where you'd say in an interface for any string key use this, whereas for type it's roughly the same thing to do like key and whatever. The difference with types, again, they're more powerful, is that types allow you to do like more fancy things, whereas interfaces are like no. No, this is not allowed. Ooh, wait. I'm just gonna disable everything so we can see. Yeah. Index signature parameters can't be literals or generics. Considering using a mapped object type instead. Yep. So the rule name is consistent indexed object style. Really cool stuff, I think. Interface with index signature. Refer with recursive index signature auto-fixed to record instead of mapped type. Oh boy. And I'm gonna have to get the playground for this rule because we like having quick repros. So let's shove this bad boy, I was gonna say, into example union. Let's just rename this stuff around. Root example. Root. And then example object. Yay! Then I can just say this is like Boolean or a number, whatever, it doesn't matter. Here we go. So this is the playground. Just simplifying it a bit. LOPQRSTU. Yeah, this is fine. Where's my issue? Repro code, repro link. Filled out for me. This interface can't be can either be left as is or auto fixed to type example object. Key in string to mapped object type. But it's actually auto-fixed to boop. It's actually auto-fixed to record string example root, which causes TypeScript to give a complaint that type alias example object circularly to give complaints to actually. Example roots. See, I suspect this is in the same area as our friends here. But not quite the same. Found while trying to enable the rule on TypeScript-eslint itself. And the place I tried to do that is here. So if we remove changes to this file, copy as URL from the upstream, blah, blah, blah. And it's line 35 to line 40, I think was I want. Yep. 38. Yep. There we go. Lovely. So now I have determined a bug report. Not necessarily a bug. We don't know if I'm right. It's going into triage, but I filed a bug report. Yay! Oh, and I just realized I should unpin the TypeScript thingy. Learning TypeScript. Ah, well. Filed a bug report. Yay. Been using the partying face emoji a lot recently. I don't know why. Side note, I don't want to jinx things. What the? Dang it. But Blue Sky hasn't been crashing or giving error messages when I post. So that's nice. They fixed whatever that was. Yeah. All right, so yeah, what I wanted to do was enable the rule. Did I ever do that? Oh, I disabled it in the file. So disable also boop, boop, boop. Disable. Cool. So now if I just run yarn lint, super cache friendliness should mean that it's gonna go fast. I hope. Guess not. Enable. No, let me see what I called the other pull request. I like keeping to like a standard template. Okay, so lint, enable, and then what do we call this? Assistant indexed object style. What a long name for a rule. Add all, get commit chore, fix, re-enable this thing. Fix violation. Git push u origin, lint, enable, whatever. So it's running. 12 of 12 succeeded. 17 projects. 3 more to go. 4 more to go. 4 more to go. Awesome. Yep, right side lint passed before. I'm just gonna enable this now. Boop. Yay. Boop, boop, boo. So, continues is what I said. Oh my god, hiccups, excuse me. Continues whatever. Got like 7 minutes till my meeting. I got this. Makes progress and the rule. Yeah, the rule. Curse me and my nitpickiness and adherence to good. GitHub form. I want to name the full rule. Okay, this is in blah blah blah. Consistent indexed object style was previously enabled in. Oh, I closed the PR by accident. Is PR? I think I want. There we go. Nevada with 2 V's. 353 by Nevada. Bah. But I merged, conflicted it away by accident. All right. Yay! Made a PR. Good for me. Shouldn't it cache? Yeah, it should. I don't know why it didn't. If we run again, it should. Okay, there we go. Maybe it said I changed something. Oh. I changed the utils package. In theory, it shouldn't cause a cache blowout because I didn't actually change the outputs, but I guess I did change the DTS file. Anyway, got through one of the rules. And now we're going to go back to Learning TypeScript, the article. We give it a quick, like, 2-3 minute once over, and then I will publish it and be free to go to my next meeting. So yarn starts. Don't need to get pull. Everything is on my computer. Alright, back to this thing. Reping it. Also, because it's been a while, hey everyone, I'm Josh. Nice to meet you. I work in open source. I'm actually like 4 minutes away, 5 minutes away from ending the stream. So any last questions y'all want to talk about, let me know. Always happy to chat. And also if there are people you think we should rate at the end in particular. I like finding a rater. Or a ratee. Being a rater of a ratee. Anyway. Boop. Articles. Gonna have to do this, friends. The syntax highlighting. Brr. So irksome. TypeScript. Oh yeah, I gotta change the date. Update PM. Yeah, yeah. I'll get right on that. PMPM has a lot of updates. I've just gotten bored of always updating for no benefit to me. Once in a while I do, because I know it's good to be on the latest. All right, suppose you wanted to write a function. Yeah, I'm just going to skim over this. TypeScript F overloads can be a handy way to describe the type of function that can be called in multiple different ways, but they don't help much with how the function's internal implementation understands the types of parameters. For example, if you'd like the second parameter function provides several ways to describe the type of most common, but the two most common strategies, function overloads and generic functions, don't help much. Don't help much. Generic functions don't need that. Too much of explainer. This article will walk through. Yeah, I think I increased the amount over like the default what it says it'll be, because like a lot of the articles in this site are like kind of nuanced stuff and there's a lot of code. So this article will walk through 3 techniques for describing a parameter type that changes based on a previous parameter. The first 2 allow using standard JavaScript syntax, but aren't quite precise in describing the types inside the function. The third one requires using array spread and tuple type in a funky new way that gets the right types internally. Suppose you wanted to write a function that takes into 2 params. That function, second parameter's type is different based on the first parameter. An initial approach might be to declare the function's 2 parameters as unit types. In short, that would allow calling a function with other hash types, such as blah, blah, blah. Allow this. 2 problems in that code block. Manually asserting A. Prevents with mismatch. Yep. Using function overloads. To recap function overloads, this allows code to describe any number of call signatures for a function's implementation of the function is then allowed to be called in ways matching either of those, any of those. For example, this either way can be called either with a number input, for a number, or a string input to return a string. Describing the long fruit function with overloads, let's call it long fruit overload, would look something like declaring a string for apple and a signature. For banana, yep. The function overloads approach does improve on the first one around unit types. Calling with apple permits, banana, type error, progress. But type is still long, explicit as assertions are needed, no Breno. TypeScript isn't able to narrow the type of info, even though the 2 overloads explicitly stated that. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to publish. Haha! Little improvements. If there are actual typos, unlike a book that is written, everything is live, so I'm just going to merge this in. Ready for review. Green checkbox in that there is no build running on this repo. Haha! Confirm, squash, and merge. Go to Joshua K. Goldberg, Learning TypeScript site. Sync fork, update branch. I'm 2 minutes behind where I want it to be. Sorry, my next meeting person, if you're watching this. So this should update soon. In the meantime, I'm gonna tweet. Let's see, Learning TypeScript book. Oh my god, 19 notifications. I keep forgetting. Got it. Oh no, ads revenue sharing. Fuck off, Elon. Jackass. Okay. Side by side, so I can see both at the same time. New Learning TypeScript article for Halloween. Are we published yet? Spooky, spookily, scarily useful technique for the occasional function with complex parameters with dependent parameter types. What does that mean? What are the alternatives? Read within. Ghost. Yay. Posted. Boom. All right. Tweet sent. After the stream, I'll go and, like, I don't know, promote it on my other media accounts. Anyway, time to raid. No one suggested anything. Aaron, Mikhail, tell them I said hello, and if they ask anything, sorry I couldn't come. But this was an absolute pleasure. Thanks, y'all, for coming. I really appreciate it. You can always find me as Joshua K. Goldberg in all the places. And if you have any questions or things you want to talk about, I'm always happy to chat. Bye, y'all. Happy raiding. Thanks, Style Shit.